Welcome to the 28th edition of the Tiger Highline Online. Our first story is about the men's basketball team whose upcoming season looks promising. A story by Kaz Brown.
Cedar Falls men's basketball team is just kicking off their season. We talked to two senior starters, Zach Harvey and Khalil Brown, about their thoughts on how this season should go.
Our goal this year is to get to state. That's always our main goal, is to get to state, and then obviously we want to try to get better each and every day. And so by the time state rolls around in districts, we want to be the best team that we can possibly be. Working there to get better each and every day. So hopefully when we get to state, that's our main goal, but obviously is to win a state championship, which would be the first one that Cedar Falls High School has ever had for men's basketball.
Just to make sure that we work hard and get a good start to the season, which will help propel us into sub-state and the finals and stuff.
Our team chemistry will be a lot better probably than last year. Obviously we were really tight last year, but it's a lot of group of seniors. We'll probably be starting our all senior lineup this season, and we've been all playing together since junior Tigers basketball since 5th and 6th grade, so we're really close with each other. We hang out all the time, and we're really close. We're like best friends.
We lost Tony Johnson, who was our starting post, and that's my position, so I'm working to be a big role in the offense.
It's tough with James, Tony, and Caleb, but they're three really good players, all playing in college now. They're great, great athletes. We just have to get better, That's all it's about, is just getting better, We obviously we may not have as much talent as they did last year, but, we have to, feed off that and what they brought to the team and the leadership, and just become the best team that we can be and just, getting better. That's all it is.
I'm Kaz Brown reporting for the Tiger Highline Online.
Here's a story about the Allstate Music Festival happening in Ames by Christina and Emily.
The CFHS Music Department has always had a history of being great, but this year has been one to remember. With over 40 students selected for Allstate from choir, band, and orchestra, this sets a new record for the high school. It has taken a lot of commitment, dedication, and hard work, not only for students to prepare for auditions, but to learn the music for the concert as well.
So the commitment was there from the beginning, and of course going through that process of preparing the excerpts and their audition material takes a lot of hard work, dedication from the very beginning until the day that they audition.
And then once they were selected, then they were handed the music. Here's the folder of music, learn this, be ready in 3.5 weeks. So they've had quite a bit of preparation to do.
As to what happens when the students finally get to Ames, 4-year Allstate member Ann Feenup knows the process like none other.
Every year we go down to Ames, and we go down Thursday afternoon, rehearse all day Friday, literally all day, from 8 till 5, and then we have a concert Saturday night in the floor of Hilton Coliseum where they play basketball, so it's really cool.
Allstate is an exciting event for all, due to many different factors.
I'm just most excited to see a lot of people that I haven't seen since last year, or about a couple months ago or so. But there's a lot of people. I know at least 5 kids that I'm going to be playing with, so it's going to be a lot of fun to see them again because you don't get to see them that often.
Orchestra is about, I'd probably say almost 150 people. Our school orchestra is about 40, so almost quadruple that. And then choir is 600 kids. If you've ever heard 600 people sing at the same time and they're all really, really good, and you get shivers every time whenever they play. And band's massive too. It's just the sheer size of everything is really cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Not only are memories made and friendships formed, but many students come back with leadership skills that strengthen the entire group.
The Allstate process develops leaders, in addition to improving their own technical play.
For choir director Elliot Kranz, the success of Allstate this year really comes down to a couple of different factors.
Their willingness to get in, to get better, to work hard, to learn their music, to take it seriously. All of the record-setting stuff, that goes back to the students. That doesn't go to me. I think Mr. Ramsey, Mr. Hall, Mr. Englehart would say the same thing. It's all about the students' preparation and how well they prepare and how well they auditioned back in October.
This has been Emily Peck and Christina Bramer reporting for the Tiger Highline Online.
Here's a story about a standout athlete, Kaz Brown, by Austin Anderson.
This is the story of the crazy life of Cedar Falls High School student athlete, Kaz Brown.
Now I have 5 schools that I'm deciding between, and it's Illinois, Iowa State, Kentucky, Florida State, and Florida. I think being named Allstate was a huge honor because they only picked 6 girls for the All-State elite team, and that meant a lot to me because there was only 6 girls and I got this award as a junior, not even a senior. It was just really like an unreal feeling. Winning the national tournament for 16s was a huge deal, and being named MVP was such an honor. While I was at Florida, I met Christian Taylor, who was the 2012 triple jump gold medalist, and he brought his gold medal with him, actually. So I got to hold it, and it was really heavy, and that was like a really cool experience because I really would like to be in the Olympics someday, hopefully, and just like holding that gold medal was like a huge motivation, just to know that like that could be me someday if I work hard enough. I eat sour candy before every game because sour candy is my favorite. I think I started doing this in maybe like 8th or 9th grade, so this has been going on for about 2 or 3 years. And if I don't eat it before game, I just like think I'm gonna play really bad. And sometimes like if I don't eat it, I do play bad. I think I decided to pursue volleyball because volleyball is just like my first true passion. Like that was the sport I picked up first before anything else. And I've just always been drawn to it, and I just love volleyball and just like the team aspect of it. And it's just something I couldn't picture my life without. My brothers are a huge influence on me, and they always have been. They're 2 of my biggest role models for sure, and they're like my best friends.
Yeah, me and my sister had a really close relationship, especially with sports, you know, with her doing basketball, me doing basketball as well. We can both help each other. And I help her, like, you know, with her game and, you know, in volleyball, and encourage her and coming to support her, you know what I mean, with all of her tournaments and her games. You know, I'm trying to be the best big brother I can.
This has been Austin Anderson reporting for the Tiger Highline Online.
Here's a news story about the new virtual hospital at Hawkeye by Luke and Terrell.
On November 13th, students interested in medical courses and careers headed to Hawkeye for an open house of a virtual hospital.
Okay, well, it enhances my learning in ways that I'm able to do the vitals on the simulators, and I'm also able to do like the IV insertion, the blood transfusion. It helps a lot. It makes a really huge difference in our learning.
The virtual hospital, one of the positives about it is that it's a controlled, safe environment for students that we can show a variety of types of patients that we have or clients they might encounter in their career. An environment that's a lot less threatening, and it also allows with our technology that we can videotape and review and debrief the students so that they can recognize areas that they might want to improve on or in their procedures and how they carry out the cares with the patients.
All of the nursing courses use the virtual hospital. All of the respiratory therapy courses use the virtual hospital. And we're starting to see it used more in the occupational therapy assisting program and the physical therapy assisting program. And we'll use it soon in the dental program. Hawkeye actually remodeled a room to make this space for the virtual hospital, and that finished up, the remodeling finished up November of last year. We got the mannequins in January of this year, and so we've been doing our training over the course of the last few months, and probably we started using it, the first group of nursing students went through it in March. So since March we've been using the virtual hospital.
This is Luke and Terrell reporting for the Tiger Highline Online.
Cedar Falls had a student first faculty track meet for the food drive. Here's a story by Ahmed, Alyssa, and Richie.
With all the events that Cedar Falls High School is having for the canned food drive, one of the most recent ones is the student versus staff track meet. The event took place at the Cedar Falls High School track and raised over $500 for the canned food drive. This event is a good way for students and teachers to spend time outside of school and just relax and have fun.
You know, support a good cause and see the teachers I hate eat dirt. I don't really know who's running, but I'm definitely cheering on you, Richie, and I'm definitely cheering on my other friends who might be running. Just the students in general, I guess.
But besides all the fun and games at the track meet, the canned food drive is for a very important purpose.
Oh, it's a great cause, trying to get some food raised for the food drive.
This is Richie, Ahmed, and Alyssa reporting for the Cedar Falls Tiger Highline Online.
Last Monday, Cedar Falls High School had their annual Veterans Day Assembly. A story by Mason and Jake.
This flag of ours is a symbol of all that is good about this country. The United States is an idea. It is an idea lived and fought for by a people. This flag is our history, our dreams, and our accomplishments. We are the United States, and this is our symbol.
On November 12th, Cedar Falls High School had an assembly to honor the veterans who have served in our nation's military. Mr. Hoofenegel, a Navy veteran, spoke about his life in the Navy and shared a tragic story of fallen soldiers on a sunken submarine.
I'm very happy for the chance to be able to speak at the assembly because I get to share a little bit of my story and recognize some heroes of mine.
Students were glad to take time out of their day to honor veterans and to also thank current soldiers. Senior James Stortz shares how he feels about the assembly.
I thought it was pretty cool. You know, we kind of take for granted all the servicemen overseas that protect our rights. So, you know, it's kind of cool just to recognize them every once in a while.
Please don't forget to thank the veterans in your life. This has been Mason Wise and Jacob Honeymiller reporting for the Tiger Highline.
Here's a look back at the Tigers football game against Pleasant Valley in the state football playoffs by Lisa, Joey, and Clint.
Last week, Cedar Falls Tigers defeated Pleasant Valley 28-21 in a close finish. Brian Cook discusses the victory.
Defense played extremely well. We had 3 turnovers, which kind of put pressure on them, and I think that they played about as good as anyone in the state could. I think we have full confidence, and they can stop about any team. It's just we have to eliminate turnovers for our offense, and I think if we can do that, then I don't think any team can play with us.
Next, they face their only regular season loss, Xavier, in the Dome on Friday.
This week we play Xavier, and it's the semifinals, and we lost to them in week 9. I think it was 24-7. And we've had some injuries, but a lot of people have come back from it, and I think that it's time for redemption, I guess, and we'll be playing our hearts out. And if we win, we'll play the winner of Ankeny and Southeast Polk in the state championship game next Friday.
This has been Lisa, Joey, and Clint for the Tiger Highline Online.
Cedar Falls High School has been setting up disaster plans for emergencies. Here's a story by Alyssa, Ahmed, and Richie.
At Cedar Falls High School, safety is taken very seriously. Many of you may know about the tornado and fire drills, but many people do not know about the other procedures here at Cedar Falls High School.
So lockdown drills are practiced yearly. A shelter-in-place drill is practiced in case there would be some biological hazard in the area. And the other thing that we do on bi-yearly practice time is to go through our off-site evacuation. In each one of our classrooms we have our Safe School plan, and this should be posted. Right now this is brand new this fall, but also in the back jacket is a Safe School plan that talks about off-site evacuation, talks about the shelter-in-place drill or the building lockdown.
In case of an emergency, each classroom has an emergency supply bucket. But what's in this bucket?
First we have biohazard bags for bodily waste.
An envelope with emergency phone number list, missing persons log, and cards that show the condition of your classroom.
First aid bandage kit.
A trash bag.
Lifesavers for diabetes.
Water bottles.
Duct tape.
Toilet paper.
Emergency blanket.
Masking tape.
Tampons.
And a flashlight with 2 D batteries.
So a lot of people aren't aware of what we do in a lockdown, but just like when you go to bed at night, you lock the doors. Most people do. We want to make sure that we keep safe at home. We want to be safe here at school.
This is Richie,
Ahmed,
and Alyssa,
reporting for the Cedar Falls Tiger Highline Online.
Our next story is about moped drivers braving the cold by Nick and Michael.
This year, new moped spots have been added to Cedar Falls High School.
I just started this year. Same here. Yeah, you don't have to worry about getting here earlier. You just roll right in and go to school. Yeah, show up late and don't have to walk. So about 10 till, say 5 till, 10 till.
With the winter weather arriving, will they still ride their mopeds to school?
No. No, I get snow tires for mine, so I usually put chains on them too, just to help get extra traction.
Say every once in a while as frequently as I can. Right now it's getting pretty chilly, so I don't do it as much. Yeah, I do think they're convenient because it's right by the school.
This has been Michael Bowden and Nick Hall reporting for the Tiger Highline Online.
Last Thursday, the Powder Puff volleyball game went on for the food drive. Here's a story by Lisa, Clint, and Joey.
Last week held the annual staff-student volleyball game that was a fundraiser for the food drive. The participants were the seniors, sophomores, and the teachers. Teacher Mrs. Wheeler tells us about the tradition.
We're playing a little volleyball tonight to support our student food drive, which is wrapping up this week. We've had great success so far, and the teachers are looking to repeat for the 3rd time in a row this year. Stay tuned.
Senior Connor Calhoun explains to us how important the game is to him.
Alright, today we're playing an intramural volleyball tournament for men only, and it's for the food drive to raise money. I've been playing for all 3 years now, and the seniors going to win this year because the staff is terrible.
With the staff unfortunately winning 2-1, the seniors pulled away with a victory on the sophomores, winning the series 2-1. This has been Joey Dobson, Lisa Morales, and Clint Fletcher reporting for the Tiger Highline Online.
Hey, stay out of the net.
Win
Let's go.
Win on 3. 1, 2, 3, win!
Lately, you might have seen unique sculptures hanging around the halls of Cedar Falls High School. Here's a story about the sculptures by Malcolm and Andrea.
There is a sculpture class offered at Cedar Falls High School which allows students to get creative. The students are currently working on tape body casts which will be displayed around the school for the student body to see. We talked to Nathan Nielsen and Brianna Bishop about their projects and the sculpting teacher, Mr. McCormick, about the class.
I guess it's already individualized because we're working on it, so it kind of has that sentimental value to you, so it's kind of already individualized. About 4 or 5 days. I guess we're just going to put a jacket and some pants, kind of, I guess, shoes, probably. Wrap plastic wrap around your body and then cover that with packing tape and then just cut it off and reseal it with more packing tape.
So there's this artist named Mark Jenkins who's a contemporary street artist, primarily based in New York City. So he does these works of art where he'll wrap mannequins primarily, but also people and like little baby dolls and stuff. And then he'll put the wrapped sculptures like out in public and kind of interacting with the public, like hanging off of a bike rack or up on a street light, and people kind of walk by and don't notice it, which I always thought was kind of an interesting play on like street art. Usually when people think of street art, they think of like graffiti, but this is just him making a sculpture and put it out there. So I thought it looked like a really interesting project to kind of look at and think about and kind of have my students experiment with. They did a project, I think, almost exactly like this in sculpture last year. Last year I wasn't here. I was actually doing some instructing at UNI, and I've done projects very similar to this. I've done like body parts, but I've never done the full body, so this is a little bit new for me. We're going to try to hang them in the building, and then after that, I'm not sure what's going to happen. We'll kind of take it from there, whether people want to take them home and like freak out their parents with them, or just donate them to the art department. I'm not really sure. They're really inexpensive to make. I mean, it's probably a couple dollars worth of tape, maybe $1 worth of saran wrap, just so that it doesn't stick to their body, and that's it. So I mean, they're kind of ephemeral. They can kind of be like tossed, picked, whatever. There's not a whole lot of investment in them.
Yes, it's Gladys. Because of the movie, when the old lady named Gladys becomes a demon and crawls all over the ceiling, she's going to be on the ceiling. It's going to be in the counseling hallway on the pole, because that way no one will really see it unless they're really looking and stuff, so it'll be unnoticed.
I'm Andrea Leisinger.
I'm Malcolm Masoni, and we're reporting for the Tiger Highline Online. Here's a story about the new English teacher, Mr. Deike, by Dom, Lee, and Michaela.
This year, there's a new beard on campus, and his name is...
I was never much of an educational kid. I hated school growing up. As a matter of fact, I hated it all the way up until high school. My sophomore year, it all changed when I had a sophomore English teacher who was crazy. She was off the wall, but at the same time, she really knew her content and really knew her curriculum. So at the same time, she could be really fun in class. She could stand on desks. She could be quirky. She could be funny, but also we would learn quite a bit throughout it. So it was this really cool mixture of content knowledge, but also a real personality. I've always loved sports. I grew up a wrestler. I literally had wrestling shoes hanging on my crib when I was a little kid. Yeah, not even a metaphor. I literally had that. So I loved football, I loved wrestling, and I ran track. My favorite part of teaching, out of all the fun things that we as your teachers do, would have to be either grading, paperwork, or planning. I'm kidding. Those are actually the things that I despise in teaching. But I plow through them because I do love the actual teaching part of teaching. Coming in with a secondary teaching degree in English, I thought I had a pretty good grasp on the subject. But it turns out there's so much to learn, and being a teacher actually means being a continuous and continual learner throughout your lifetime. So I found that out too, and I'm pumped to tackle that mountain. I know everybody says they love music, but I really love music. I listen to anything from the most mellow of folk acoustic music to the heaviest of hardcore music. A lot of people say that they listen to everything, but they don't. I really listen to everything. I love movies, especially manly 80s cheesy action movies like Rambo First Blood or Terminator or movies of that like. And I also really like horror movies, and especially low budget movies because I can laugh at them and make fun of them. But also I really love athletics. Anything athletic involved. I'm super competitive. I hate losing. So it doesn't matter if it's a board game, a frisbee game, or football. I don't like losing, and I love competing. So my favorites are football, wrestling, track, but I also enjoy stuff like frisbee or golf, and I also am a bit of an outdoorsman. I love hunting and fishing, and I also bought my own kayak. So when I do have free time, which turns out isn't very often these days, I do love to kayak around rivers here in CF or at Big Woods Lake or wherever it is. So I could go on and on about my hobbies, but I love doing a lot of things outside of the school. I know students sometimes think that their teachers don't have social lives, but it turns out that they do, and I do also. So. Young man, you need to put away your cell phone. No. Young man, the only way I want you tweeting in my class is if it's about my class and good things. Now put your cell phone in my box.
I'm not even tweeting.
Put it in there.
No.
This is your last opportunity.
This has been Lee Hall, Dominic Sapressi, and Michaela Burke, reporting for the Tiger Highline Online.
Thanks for watching another episode of the Tiger Highline. We'll see you next week.